Let's picture this. You're standing in the heart of ancient Rome. The streets are alive with merchants, philosophers, and soldiers. News spreads quickly. The empire has suffered another economic shock. Prices are soaring, coins are being clipped, and panic ripples through the crowd. But one man stands calm in the chaos, offering quiet words of advice. He isn't a general or a politician, he's a philosopher. And the wisdom he carries has kept people grounded for centuries. That scene could be from 2,000 years ago, or from last week, because history doesn't just repeat, it rhymes. Markets crash, leaders rise and fall, currencies lose value. Through all of it, some principles never change. Today, we're going to uncover those principles, the ones that helped ordinary people survive uncertainty in the past and can still protect you right now. Whether it's your finances, your time, or your peace of mind, this ancient wisdom can make you unshakable. Let's start with a cornerstone from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The world will always throw challenges your way: economic downturns, political chaos, unexpected life changes. Most people waste their energy trying to control the uncontrollable. The Stoics flip the script. Focus entirely on your thoughts, your actions, and your next move. Maybe you can't control inflation, but you can control your spending habits. You can't control your boss's mood, but you can control the quality of work you do and how you show up. That mental shift from victim to strategist is a superpower. A simple exercise: write down a current stressor, draw a line down the page. On the left, list what you can control. On the right, list what you can't. Then stop investing energy in the right-hand column. Reclaim that energy for action. Second principle: don't let short-term emotions dictate long-term decisions. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In ancient Rome, that meant keeping composure during rumors of war or food shortages. Today it might mean ignoring social media panic about markets, resisting an impulse buy, or staying patient while everyone else chases quick wins. Here's a filter you can use in seconds. Before deciding, ask, will this matter in 10 years? If not, it may not deserve your peace today. Ancient merchants used this mindset. They measured success by seasons and years, not a single day's profit. The lesson: zoom out before you act. Third principle: resilience through preparation. Anticipate challenges before they happen. Epictetus taught students to rehearse difficulties daily, not to be negative, but to be ready. The practice was called premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. Imagine potential obstacles so they don't knock you off balance. If you expect life to be smooth, every bump feels like a crisis. If you expect challenges, they're just part of the journey. Translating that to modern life: build an emergency fund, learn portable skills, keep your digital life backed up, and diversify income where you can. These are shields you forge before the storm. Preparation isn't paranoia, it's peace. When you've already considered the worst, you meet real problems with a plan instead of panic. Fourth principle: choose simplicity on purpose. The wealthy Stoic Seneca practiced voluntary discomfort, eating simple food, sleeping on the floor, not as punishment, but as freedom training. He proved to himself that comfort was a luxury, not a necessity. Try a modern version: 1 week per quarter, cut non-essential spending to the bone, cook at home, walk instead of ride. Notice how little you actually need to feel good. The benefit isn't just saving money, it's discovering that your well-being isn't held hostage by extras. Fifth principle: align actions with values daily. The Stoics believed virtue, courage, temperance, justice, wisdom wasn't abstract. It was practical. Ask yourself in tough moments, what would courage do? What would wisdom do? Then do that, even if it's inconvenient. This shift builds inner credibility. When your actions match your values repeatedly, you trust yourself under pressure. That trust becomes an internal fortress when external events get loud. Sixth principle, protect your inputs to protect your outlook. The ancients didn't have smartphones, but they had rumor mills, public spectacles, and political theater. Their solution? Guard the gates of attention. Modern version, curate your feeds, limit notifications, and set focus hours. Replace 2 low-quality inputs each day with 1 high-signal input. A book chapter, a deep conversation, a skill lesson. Your mind becomes what it consumes. Seventh principle, practice memento mori. Remember you're mortal. This isn't morbid, it's clarifying. When you remember time is finite, you spend it on what matters. You stop arguing with strangers. You start building what only you can build. A simple ritual. Each morning, write 1 sentence. If today were my last, what would deserve an hour? Put 1 block on your calendar for that. Live the answer. Eighth principle, strengthen your recovery protocols. Stoics train the mind the way athletes train the body, steadily. In modern life, when stress spikes, have a plan. Step outside, breathe for 2 minutes, take a brief walk, get light and fresh air, hydrate, then re-engage. It's not dramatic, it's dependable. Dependable beats dramatic when life is volatile. These principles control your mind, filter emotions, anticipate hardship, choose purposeful simplicity, align with values, guard your inputs, remember mortality, and harden your recovery are more than survival tactics. They're freedom strategies. Because when you're mentally prepared, emotionally steady, and focused on what you can control, outside events lose their power over your peace. And there's one area where this control becomes even more powerful, an area the Stoics valued above gold itself. We've seen how the Stoics guarded their minds and managed their time like priceless treasures, but their wisdom went deeper. It was a complete blueprint for navigating chaos without losing yourself. One key insight: progress is built on the back of discipline. Epictetus told his students, "No great thing is created suddenly." They knew consistency beats intensity every time. In today's world, that means showing up, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when the results aren't instant. Think about your finances, your fitness, your relationships. None of these thrive on occasional bursts of effort. They grow because you tend to them like a garden, daily, patiently, intentionally. Another Stoic lesson: learn to see setbacks as training, not punishment. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That's not just philosophy, it's a mental reframe that turns obstacles into allies. Missed a goal? Now you know what doesn't work. Got rejected? You've been given a clear signal to adjust your approach. This is where most people quit. But the Stoics pressed forward, knowing each challenge was forging their resilience. As they also practiced something rare in our time: voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised sleeping on the floor or eating plain food now and then, just to remind yourself you can live with less. Why? Because comfort makes us fragile. If you're used to luxury, the smallest inconvenience feels like a crisis. But if you train yourself to endure a little hardship, life loses its power to intimidate you. Modern translation: take cold showers, fast for a day, walk instead of driving. You'll discover you're far more capable than you think, and fear of losing comfort stops controlling your choices. Another timeless weapon: controlling the input that shapes your mind. In ancient times, Stoics chose their teachers, their readings, their company carefully. Today, our teachers are often algorithms designed to keep us outraged or distracted. Guard your mental diet. Replace an hour of scrolling with an hour of study. Swap gossip for deep conversation. Choose 1 book and read it slowly, rather than consuming an endless stream of shallow content. What you feed your mind shapes your future. just like the Stoics knew. And here's the final unifying principle: live with a sense of purpose bigger than yourself. The Stoics weren't chasing fame or fortune for its own sake. They aimed to be useful, to serve, to leave something that outlasted them. Ask yourself, if you vanished tomorrow, what ripple would you leave behind? Maybe it's the example you set for your kids, the kindness you show strangers, the work you do that improves life for others. This isn't just feel-good advice. Purpose is an anchor in chaos. When you know what you stand for, decisions get easier, fear shrinks, and distractions lose their grip. So, let's tie it together. Guard your mind, control your time. Think in decades, not days. Prepare for hardship. Choose your inputs and live for something bigger than yourself. These aren't dusty relics of ancient philosophy. They're tools, sharp, practical, and still undefeated by time. The empires of the past have crumbled, but the wisdom that sustained them is still here, ready for anyone bold enough to live it. Starting today, that person can be you.